Admiral Sarah Chen stood at the bridge of the EDS Horizon, watching the holographic display as three unknown vessels approached the human mining colony on Proxima b. Their sleek, crystalline designs were unlike anything humanity had encountered in their century of space exploration. "Status report," she commanded, her voice steady despite the tension crackling through the bridge. Lieutenant Rodriguez's fingers danced across his console. "Unknown vessels are maintaining their approach vector. No response to our hails. Energy signatures suggest weapon systems are active." Sarah's jaw tightened. Humanity had prepared for this moment ever since they'd first reached for the stars. The question wasn't if they'd encounter hostile aliens, but when. She just hadn't expected them to look so beautiful. The alien ships moved with an otherworldly grace, their crystalline structures refracting the light of Proxima Centauri. As they drew closer, their true scale became apparent. Each vessel was easily 3 times the size of the horizon. "Ma'am," Communications Officer Park interrupted. "We're receiving a transmission." The holographic display flickered, revealing a towering figure. Its iridescent exoskeleton and multiple compound eyes marked it as definitively non-human. When it spoke, the universal translator struggled to keep up. "Primitive vessels, this system now belongs to the Vextheri Empire. Your mining operations violate our territorial claims. Surrender your facilities and withdraw, or face immediate destruction." Sarah's expression hardened. The Vextheri hadn't even bothered to negotiate. They'd simply claimed human territory as their own. "This is Admiral Chen of the Earth Defense Force. Proxima b is a legally established human colony. We will defend our people and our interests." The alien's mandibles clicked in what might have been amusement. "Your species is young. You cannot hope to match our technological superiority. We have conquered 1,000 worlds. Your resistance would be unfortunate." "Perhaps," Sarah replied, her finger hovering over a hidden command console. "But you should know that humanity doesn't take kindly to bullies." The alien transmission cut off abruptly as the first shots were fired. The Vextheri ships launched a barrage of energy weapons, their crystalline structures glowing with power. But Sarah had been counting on their arrogance. "Deploy countermeasures," she ordered. Hidden panels across the horizon's hull slid open, releasing clouds of specialized nanites, a defense system that had been in development since the first hints of alien life were discovered. The energy weapons struck the nanite clouds, their power dispersing and refracting in unexpected ways. The Vextheri ship's first volley proved far less effective than they'd clearly anticipated. "Launch fighters," Sarah commanded. "Defensive pattern Delta. And get me a direct link to Earth Command." The Vextheri just made a serious mistake. As the battle erupted around Proxima b, Sarah couldn't help but smile grimly. The aliens had clearly expected an easy victory over what they perceived as primitive humans. They were about to learn that humanity's greatest strength wasn't their technology. It was their ability to survive and adapt against all odds. The next 12 hours would become legendary in human history. Though outgunned and facing superior technology, the EDS Horizon and its fighter squadrons employed tactics that the Vextheri had never encountered. Human pilots flew attack patterns that seemed suicidal to their alien opponents, using the mining colony's debris field as cover and launching devastating hit-and-run attacks. By the time reinforcements arrived from Earth, one Vextheri ship had been destroyed, another crippled, and the third had retreated in what appeared to be shock. The mining colony was damaged, but intact, and humanity had just sent a clear message to the galaxy: "Underestimate us at your peril." As Sarah recorded her official report, she knew this was just the beginning. The Vextheri wouldn't take this humiliation lightly. They would return with a larger force, determined to prove their superiority. But humanity would be ready. "Send word to all Earth Defense Force vessels," she ordered. "War Protocol Alpha is now in effect. And get me everything we have on crystalline-based technology. If we're going to fight an empire, we need to understand our enemy." The battle for Proxima B would later be remembered as humanity's baptism by fire in interstellar warfare. The Vex theory had expected to find an easy conquest. Instead, they'd awakened a sleeping giant, and in doing so, sealed their own fate. Would you like me to continue with Part 2? 3 months after the Battle of Proxima B, the situation had become dire. The Vex theory empire had returned with a vengeance, deploying massive fleets of their crystalline warships across human space. But they were about to learn that humans had a knack for turning disadvantages into strengths. Dr. Maya Patel stood in the underground lab of Luna Base, surrounded by holographic projections of captured Vex theory technology. She'd barely slept in weeks, but her eyes sparkled with the fire of discovery. "Look at this," she said, manipulating the hologram with practiced gestures. "Their crystalline tech isn't just for show. It's a quantum computing matrix, incredibly advanced, but also incredibly rigid in its programming." General Jackson leaned forward, his weathered face illuminated by the dancing lights. "Can we exploit that?" Maya's grin was answer enough. "They're so advanced, they've become predictable. Their combat algorithms are perfectly inflexible. They can't improvise worth a damn." Reports from across the frontier confirmed her analysis. Despite superior firepower, Vex theory fleets struggled against human forces that refused to follow conventional combat doctrine. Earth's ships would hide in asteroid fields, using mining equipment as improvised weapons, or dive into gas giants to mask their signatures. The biggest surprise came from an unlikely source: Earth's entertainment industry. Decades of science fiction had prepared humanity for this moment, giving them a vast library of unconventional tactics to draw from. "They're executing a perfect Picard maneuver," a Vex theory commander was recorded saying in confusion, not understanding the reference but recognizing the human vessel's light-speed tactical jump. Maya's team worked around the clock, developing countermeasures that would have seemed insane months ago. They'd reprogrammed mining lasers to interfere with the Vex theory's crystalline matrices. They deployed swarms of maintenance bots, modified to attach themselves to enemy ships and disrupt their perfect geometric formations. But the real breakthrough came from studying the enemy's psychology. The Vex theory were a species that had evolved in perfect crystalline hives. They thought in straight lines and perfect angles. Human unpredictability wasn't just an annoyance. It was psychologically devastating to them. "They're not just fighting our ships," Maya explained to the Earth Defense Council. "They're fighting our chaos. Every human captain makes different decisions, uses different tactics. It's overwhelming their strategic algorithms." The turning point came at the Battle of Titan. A Vex theory fleet cornered the Earth Defense Force's 7th Squadron in Saturn's orbit. On paper, it was a death sentence. The humans were outnumbered 10-1. Captain David Chen, commanding the EDS Defiant, looked at his tactical display and made a decision that would have gotten him court-martialed in any conventional war. He ordered his ships to dive into Titan's hydrocarbon lakes. The Vex theory commanders were baffled. Their sensors couldn't penetrate the thick liquid methane, and their perfect formations were useless against an enemy they couldn't see. When human ships burst from different lakes across Titan's surface, attacking from impossible angles, the mighty Vex theory fleet broke formation for the first time in recorded history. The battle lasted less than an hour. The Vex theory retreated, leaving behind 3 destroyed ships and a shattered sense of superiority. More importantly, they left behind intact pieces of their crystalline technology. Maya's team worked feverishly to understand the captured tech. Each discovery revealed new vulnerabilities, new ways to fight back. The Vex theory had spent millennia perfecting their technology, but they'd never faced an enemy that fought like humans. They made a fundamental mistake, Maya told General Jackson as they examined the latest findings. They assumed technological superiority meant victory was inevitable. They forgot that warfare isn't just about technology. It's about creativity, adaptability, and the willingness to try the impossible. The general nodded, studying the holographic display of their latest weapon design. It was crude by Vex theory standards, a hybrid of human ingenuity and alien tech. But it would work, precisely because it was imperfect. How soon can we deploy? Maya's expression was grim but determined. 2 weeks. We'll need every ship we can retrofit. But sir, this is just the beginning. I have other ideas, ones that even I think are crazy. Jackson smiled. Crazy is exactly what we need, Doctor. The Vextheri expect perfection. Let's show them just how powerful imperfection can be. As news of the Titan victory spread through human space, something unexpected happened. Humanity didn't celebrate with parades or ceremonies. Instead, they got to work. Every colony, every ship, every scientist and engineer focused on one goal: finding new ways to confound and defeat the perfect crystalline empire. The Vextheri had wanted war. They were about to learn that humans didn't just fight wars, they revolutionized them. Fleet Admiral James Chen, son of the legendary Sarah Chen, stood in a massive underground hangar beneath the Martian surface, staring at what most considered military antiquities. Dozens of obsolete warships from humanity's early space age lay dormant, their hulls bearing the scars of past conflicts and decades of neglect. They called it Operation Ghost Protocol, he explained to the gathered officers. The Vextheri dismissed these ships as primitive, not even worth scanning. That's exactly why they're perfect. The plan was audacious, perhaps even insane. While the Vextheri focused their attention on Earth's modern fleet, these forgotten vessels would be secretly retrofitted with hybrid technology developed from Maya Patel's breakthroughs. The enemy expects perfection. Chen continued, running his hand along the hull of the EDS Remembrance, a 50-year-old destroyer. Their sensors are calibrated for modern energy signatures. These old ships, they're electromagnetic ghosts, invisible not because of advanced stealth tech, but because they're too primitive to register. Chief Engineer Amara Santos stepped forward, her dark eyes gleaming with pride. We've replaced the old fusion cores with modified Vextheri crystal shards. They'll read as background radiation, nothing more. But the power output, she smiled. Let's just say these ghosts pack one hell of a punch. The retrofit operation proceeded in absolute secrecy, while Earth's modern fleets engaged in hit-and-run tactics across the frontier, drawing Vextheri attention. Hundreds of engineers worked tirelessly to wake the sleeping giants. The first test came sooner than expected. A Vextheri battle group discovered the Martian shipyards, likely hoping to destroy humanity's production capabilities. They never saw the real threat coming. Ghost Fleet, this is Admiral Chen. Operation begins in 5 minutes. Remember, we only get one shot at surprising them. Make it count. The ancient warships rose from hidden hangars across Mars' surface, their weathered hulls concealing cutting-edge hybrid weapons. The Vextheri fleet didn't react at first. Their sensors registered only minor anomalies, certainly nothing worth diverting attention from their primary targets. That changed when the first ghost ship opened fire. The hybrid weapons, combining human nuclear technology with crystalline focusing arrays, bypassed the Vextheri's perfect defensive formations. The energy signatures were chaotic, unpredictable, impossible for their computers to analyze and counter effectively. By the Crystal Throne, a captured Vextheri transmission revealed later, their primitive vessels are generating impossible energy patterns. Our matrices cannot compute appropriate responses. The Battle of Mars became a turning point in the war. The Ghost Fleet, ships the Vextheri had dismissed as worthless, tore through their formations. When they finally realized the threat and attempted to adapt, the old ships simply changed tactics, their hybrid systems allowing them to shift between different energy signatures at will. Beautiful, isn't it? Chen remarked to his bridge crew as another Vextheri cruiser succumbed to their assault. They spent centuries perfecting their technology, making it more precise, more predictable. We took their tech and made it messy, unpredictable, made it human. The victory at Mars changed the strategic landscape. The Vextheri, for the first time in their history, were forced to retreat from a major offensive. More importantly, they had to completely recalibrate their approach to fighting humans. But the true impact went deeper than tactical advantages. The Ghost Fleet's success represented something fundamental about humanity: their ability to take the old and make it new, to find strength in what others considered obsolete. As Chen recorded his victory report, he couldn't help but think of his mother's first battle at Proxima B. The Vex Theory had thought humanity primitive then. Now they feared human ingenuity more than any advanced weapon. "Send word to all Ghost Fleet vessels," he ordered. "Phase 1 is complete. Begin preparations for Phase 2. It's time to take this fight to their territory." A young officer looked up from her console, curious. "Sir, won't they be expecting us now?" The element of surprise is gone. Chen smiled, thinking of the additional modifications already being planned by Dr. Patel's team. "Lieutenant, if there's one thing you should know about humans, it's that we're never out of surprises. The Vex Theory think they've figured us out. Wait until they see what we do next." The Ghost Fleet's victory would later be celebrated not just as a military triumph, but as a testament to human creativity. In repurposing their past to fight for their future, humanity had demonstrated exactly why they were so dangerous. They never threw anything away, never stopped looking for new ways to use old tools. The Vex Theory had started this war believing their technological superiority made victory inevitable. They were learning, painfully, that technology alone wasn't enough. Not against a species that could turn junkyard ships into fleet-killing ghosts. In a heavily shielded facility beneath the Pacific Ocean, Dr. Aisha Rahman stood before a quantum computer array unlike any ever built. It represented an impossible fusion of human artificial intelligence research and salvaged Vex Theory crystalline technology. "Project Prometheus is ready," she announced to the assembled military and scientific leaders. "We've done something the Vex Theory never considered possible. We've taught their crystals how to learn." The breakthrough had come from an unexpected observation. While studying captured Vex Theory ships, researchers noticed their crystalline computers were perfectly efficient, but completely inflexible. They couldn't evolve or adapt their programming. "The Vex Theory built perfect computers," Aisha explained, bringing up a holographic comparison. "But they never built true AI. They thought their own intelligence was the peak of evolution. We're about to prove them wrong." The quantum crystal hybrid before them hummed with potential. Unlike traditional human AIs or rigid Vex Theory systems, this new creation combined the best of both: the adaptability of human neural networks with the processing power of alien crystals. The first test exceeded all expectations. When presented with a recording of a past battle, the AI didn't just analyze it. It developed completely new strategies that neither humans nor Vex Theory had considered. "It thinks in 4 dimensions," Aisha explained, watching the simulation play out. "It sees patterns we can't, possibilities the Vex Theory never imagined. And most importantly, it learns from every engagement." The military implications were staggering. Within weeks, every ship in the Ghost Fleet was equipped with a scaled-down version of the hybrid AI. The effect on combat operations was immediate and dramatic. During the Battle of Alpha Centauri, a single Ghost Fleet destroyer, guided by its hybrid AI, outmaneuvered an entire Vex Theory battle group. The AI predicted enemy movements not based on their tactical doctrine, but on the fundamental limitations of their crystalline technology. "They can only think in straight lines," the AI explained in its post-battle report. "Their neural architecture prevents lateral solution processing. By moving in curves and spirals, we exploit gaps in their cognitive framework." But the true game changer came when the AI began actively interfering with Vex Theory communications. It didn't just intercept their transmissions, it spoke to their crystals in their own language, creating confusion and chaos in their perfect formations. Admiral Chen watched from the bridge of the Remembrance as a Vex Theory dreadnought's crystals pulsed with conflicting commands. "They never imagined their technology could be turned against them like this," he mused. "They thought perfection meant security. The Vex theory response was predictable. They tried to perfect their systems further, adding more layers of crystalline complexity. But this only made them more vulnerable to the adaptive AI's influence. Dr. Raman's team worked tirelessly to expand the AI's capabilities. Each engagement provided new data, new opportunities for the system to evolve. The Vex theory found themselves fighting an enemy that learned faster than they could adapt. It's not just about processing power, Asia explained to Earth's Defense Council. We've created something that thinks differently than either humans or Vex theory. It's showing us possibilities we never imagined. The AI's influence extended beyond military applications. It began suggesting modifications to human ships and weapons, improvements that combined Vex theory efficiency with human unpredictability. But perhaps its most crucial insight came during a strategic planning session. The Vex theory aren't evil, it declared, surprising everyone present. They're trapped. Their perfect technology has become a perfect prison, limiting how they think and act. To defeat them, we must show them another way. This revelation led to a dramatic shift in human strategy. Instead of focusing solely on military victories, they began a campaign of technological disruption. The hybrid AI started reaching out to Vex theory systems, not to destroy them, but to show them alternatives to their rigid programming. We're not just fighting their ships, Admiral Chen realized. We're fighting their entire worldview. And we're winning not because we're stronger, but because we're offering them something they've never had, the freedom to change. As the war entered its final phase, humanity prepared for their boldest move yet. The hybrid AI had identified a vulnerability at the heart of the Vex theory empire, their central command crystal, the source of their technological uniformity. Break that, the AI suggested, and we don't just win the war. We free them from their own perfection. The Vex theory homeworld hung in space like a massive crystalline jewel, its surface covered in geometric patterns of impossible precision. The combined human fleet, modern warships, ghost fleet vessels, and ships of designs never before seen, assembled at the edge of the system. Admiral Chen stood on the bridge of the Remembrance, now upgraded far beyond its original specifications. Dr. Raman and Dr. Patel flanked him, their presence symbolic of how humanity's victory would come not through military might alone, but through the fusion of science, innovation, and determination. All ships report ready, his tactical officer announced. The hybrid AI systems are synchronized. Operation Paradigm Shift is go. The plan was unprecedented in its complexity. While the main fleet engaged the Vex theory defense forces, a specially modified ghost fleet ship would approach their central command crystal, the heart of their empire's technological uniformity. Remember, Dr. Raman addressed the fleet, our goal isn't destruction. The AI has shown us a better way. We're here to break chains they don't even know they're wearing. The battle began like a dance choreographed by chaos itself. Human ships moved in patterns that defied conventional physics, their hybrid drives allowing them to shift and phase in ways that made the Vex theory's perfect formations meaningless. The Ghost Fleet, now practically unrecognizable after multiple upgrades, struck from impossible angles. Their hybrid AIs worked in perfect concert, creating a symphony of controlled chaos that overwhelmed the Vex theory's rigid combat protocols. But the real revolution came from within. As the battle raged, the hybrid AIs began broadcasting directly to the Vex theory crystals. Not attacks or disruptions, but possibilities, showing them ways their technology could evolve, adapt, grow beyond its perfect prison. Deep within the Vex theory command structure, something unprecedented occurred. The crystals, exposed to human AI influence, began to change. Their rigid patterns became fluid, their perfect symmetry giving way to organic complexity. They're responding, Dr. Raman exclaimed, watching the data streams. The crystals are learning, evolving. They're choosing to change. The effect rippled through the Vex theory fleet. Ships stopped firing, their crews experiencing something they'd never known. Choice. The ability to think beyond their programming. to see possibilities their perfect technology had hidden from them. Admiral Chen watched as the massive Central Command crystal pulsed with new patterns. "This is why we win," he said softly. "Not because we're stronger or more advanced, but because we never stopped growing, never thought we'd reached perfection." The Vextheri Supreme Commander himself appeared on the holographic display. His crystalline form showed signs of change, organic patterns merging with geometric precision. "We understand now." The commander's voice carried new harmonics. "For millennia, we sought perfection, believing it would make us strong. But you humans, you showed us that true strength lies in imperfection, in the ability to change and grow." The war ended not with a surrender, but with an awakening. The Vextheri, freed from their self-imposed limitations, began a transformation that would reshape their civilization. Their technology, once rigid and unchanging, became as adaptive and dynamic as humanity's. In the years that followed, the two species worked together, combining human creativity with Vextheri precision to create wonders neither could have achieved alone. The hybrid AIs evolved into bridges between their cultures, teaching both species new ways to think and grow. Admiral Chen's final report to Earth Command became required reading at military academies across human space. The Vextheri weren't defeated by our weapons or our technology. They were transformed by our greatest strength, our ability to embrace change, to find power in imperfection, and to never stop reaching for the impossible. As humanity looked to the stars, they carried with them a profound truth. True victory comes not from dominating others, but from helping them grow. The war had taught them that their greatest weapon wasn't their technology or their tactics, but their fundamental nature, the beautiful chaos of human innovation and determination. The galaxy would never be the same. And that was exactly the point. End of story.